girl, you can get.
I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real what's round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we back up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down and get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm lit it. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spin. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top on the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Just give me a reason. Know you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down and get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm lit it. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spin.
Okay, Coach, it is always a celebration here in New Orleans, and we are just outside of the French Quarter at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the New Orleans Saints. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go. Check three. Kill.
They'll run on first down. Seymour. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
I'm here all day.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
2nd and 13. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Brings up 3rd down and 13.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line. After all of the turnover woes that they had last week, another turnover on the first drive of the game.
And when you dive into the analytics of football, it's real simple. If you're down in turnover margin, you're not going to win very many football games. The best teams always rank in the upper part of the league in terms of turnover margin.
And last week's number for them was 5 turnovers. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with his 16th touchdown of the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. He'll drop to throw. James has got it. Complete. And this will be a pickup of 4 here, up to their own 20. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Mike 52, Mike 52. Y'all not ready. 5-2 is the Mike. Mike 5-2, Mike 5-2.
They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on the punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 36. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give him 9, though, on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have...
That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. It's a big play for the Cowboys. 3rd. And even 40 yards. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
Here we go. 56.
second and 13. Prescott, and that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw is Prescott. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29.
Really talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
At their own 25-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Little short pass to James. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be second and 9.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The last play got just a yard. Here's second and 9 from the 26. Second and 9 now. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it first and 10. No running room for Zeke on first down as he'll maybe get a yard out of that. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it second and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. He's going to let this one go deep. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. On third down, it's Prescott. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up fourth down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this will be taken at the 13. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
I hope you got your rest because I'm about to take you to school.
2nd and 10. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3.
Right there. 54.
They'll set up to throw. And that's caught by Smith. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
13 yards on the play. That's good for the Saints. First down. First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Oh, here we go. Oh.
They'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. And now the throw here is incomplete, and with that, we come to the end of the first quarter of play. 10-0 to score after 1 on EA Sports. The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Back to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Pulled in at the 24. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Watch the screen.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's taken on the... Now a hit and a loose football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. is. And a terrific return as he brings
friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That good for 22 and a first down. He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, and I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to figure out a way to make that at the point of attack. And the line of
and he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his second touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and
ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Ramsey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward.
Right there. 54, right there. 54, Mike. Here we go, D. Get off the field. Shut up.
He'll look to throw. And some space here. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. He couldn't get the hook up there. Frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now. Showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Let him know. 47. Let him know. 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike.
Here's Prescott. Throwing right, and that's complete. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Prescott from the gun. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
First down, Cowboys.
Here we go. 56. Check 56. I'm coming. Here we go. 47. 26.
On first and 10, Prescott. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
And a Cowboy first down.
So in Saints territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll throw again. Prescott. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
They'll come up now on a second and long after the hold. Prescott yet again. And he will find his man on the outside. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Here we go, going to 53. Alert 3. Here we go, 46, 46. 26.
They just get the play off. Now Prescott. And a big loss here as he's taken down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we got a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now second and 6 at the 29-yard line.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Let's go, D. Tighten up. That's it. D. Tighten up.
Second and 6. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
Suddenly, it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll try again on second and goal after going backwards to the 12. Elliott running right. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. They get 5 on the run, but it leaves them with a tough third and goal forthcoming.
56 is the mic. 56, Mike, 56, right there, 56. Right here.
26. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Von Bell. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter three. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Let's go. Pick it up, G.
Prescott. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there. 77 yards. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
I know you ain't got it.
A run with Lindsey out of the gun. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. Back to throw here. Airing it out deep for Smith. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
52's the mic. boys. 52. Let's go one more. Hey, Mike.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He'll get this to Phillip Lindsay, complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 31-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On first down, Seymour. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Here we go again.
2nd and 5. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And down inside the 15 he goes. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 14.
First and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Let's go. Pittsburgh. Choose the mic. You ain't going nowhere. Hey, check 20. Nice ball. High ball. Hayward. Choose the mic. Let's go.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ramsey. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Royce Freeman with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. They'll try and throw for it. This is caught. Was he in? Yes. 2 points. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples throughout a ball game. There's a great example right there.
Come on, let's go.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 31-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. 10th carry now for Elliott. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. Oh, he jumps over him at the 45. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14.
To show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Defensively.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
56. Mike, 56.
Here's Prescott. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now Prescott. He sets to fire deep. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he will be marked down inside of New Orleans 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd down, it's Elliott. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal.
Mike 47. Mike 54. Mike 54. Oh, you got G. Going to 53. Show it up. 36.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Marr now to add the extra point. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Second and 11. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
They have, you're right, they have had no room to breathe. Open man is Michael Thomas. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
Let's go, D.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. One quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
52's the mic, boys. 52. Not today, you are. Not today.
2nd and 10. They'll find Lindsey here. Give him 6 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 30. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They start on the ground with Elliott. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there. Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
47. Check curls, check curls, check curls. Under the 6. Half. Go to 54, go to 54. Line.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. That one, a gain of 20 and a 1st down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Prescott now, perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Here's Elliott. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Hey, here we go. 480. Right there, 54 Mike. Kill, kill. Hey, kill, kill. Kill, kill. 47.
They go to Elliott again. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Right here, over there, right? 52's the mic. Hey, here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. 52.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. DeForest Buckner getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they want.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
Yeah, turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Drop deep. We're going to 53. We're going to 54.
They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 9. On 3rd down, Pollard. And he'll wind up losing yardage here, back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been terrific so far. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. They'll keep it on the ground. Seymour. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball. You're handing out multiple, although I set you up by saying game balls, plural. But
I like where we're going with this. You say one to represent, like the best player of all that. And I say multiples so that you keep everyone motivated and involved.
You're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the people. I thought I was the only child.
You get a game ball, and you get a game ball. Game balls for everybody. So for Dallas, the wins keep coming as this one moves them to 12-3 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants.